Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on June the 4th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So a lot of the US dollar data came in positive. We saw the jobs numbers, actually the unemployment numbers dropped, and the data number of jobs that were added went up substantially, and that was good for the US dollar. But now coming up on Friday here, we do have non-farm payroll numbers. So although ADP numbers are precursors to non-farm payroll numbers, but here's something to keep in mind. If these numbers come in below expectations or they're not very good, we could see a sharp reversal. So keep that in mind. Continuation that we will see if the numbers come in alignment with what we saw with ADP would be less than the reversal. So reversal would be far worse if the numbers come in negative than the continuation we're going to see, because a lot of that is priced in already because of that. So that's one thing to watch out. Then we do have ECB. So we have three central bankers speaking tomorrow, so watch out. We have Swiss National Bank, we have Reserve Bank of New Zealand, and we have ECB. So there's G7 meetings, so any comments from the central bankers, again, can have an impact. So if they start talking, and they have started talking about tightening the monetary policy, so if we see like a lot of comments in regards to now that we are coming out of COVID situation, vaccinations are on track, and they start talking about tightening the monetary policy, all of that is going to have a positive impact on the currency. So the currency, that particular currency will go up, but we may see a negative impact on the stock market as a result. So we'll watch out for that. And then we have Fed Chair Powell speaking as well. Again, very important. And then employment numbers from Canada. So expect in the early part of the trading day, expect there to be more volatility. Okay, so let's go on to the charts now. We'll start off by euro by looking at euro dollar here. So euro finally reached that target, but now we are into support here. So it's gone through it. It closed behind it or below it, but we have to be a bit careful here, like I said, with the non-farm payroll numbers. If they come out negative, we are likely to see a big reversal here. So that's the caveat. Keep that in mind. That's something we'll have to be mindful of. But right now, looking for a pullback and then a drop here. First target is 1.2100 and then 1.2070. So bearish bias here for euro dollar. Now, if it could pull back slightly higher. So keep that in mind. But bias here is bearish for euro dollar. Pound dollar, this one as well. Excuse me, sorry. It went up initially, but it dropped from there. Now, this one is still trading in a range. So this is a range, and several times we have seen a similar candle and then it reversed. We saw a nice bearish candle reversed, right? So this is where we have to be careful. We don't want to get ahead of this. So wait for a break and a hold, and then we will look for continuation if that happens. So currently it's still in a range. But bearish bias here. Next target here is a 1.400. So this is bearish here as well. Aussie dollar here as well. Aussie dollar wasn't able to get through this resistance twice in a row. It had struggled, and then we saw a drop. It finally broke through the support level here, and now looking for a continuation here. And like I said, just be all the US dollar crosses, we have to be careful with the non-farm payroll numbers, because the setup is just so, it's just really set up for a big move in the opposite direction, because when it drops so much, there's always that it's like it's extending the elastic too much, right? When it stretches too much in one direction, it will go back just as much, right? And that's where it can create a lot of volatility. But anyway, this one is looking bearish as well. The first pullback level I'm looking at 0.7670 and maybe even potentially higher into 0.7690 level, and then looking for a drop here. So bearish bias, looking for a continuation move, and then the lower level here. So first target 0.7620 and then 0.7685. So this is bearish as well. New Zealand dollar, this one also went through the support, went through the big support here. Now it is into support. So again, watch out for this. And this is where we saw a similar move, big drop, and then it pushed. And actually, so we had a big drop and then it shot up. Big drop, shot up, and then big drop here as well, and then shot up. So now we have big drop, right? So this is where we have to be careful. Overall, though, it's still sitting in this range. It hasn't truly broken out of the range yet. So we have to wait for a break. So bias here is bearish. Next target is 0.7070. And then below that, we are looking at 0.7035 as the next target. So bearish bias for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, this is also trading in a range. As we can see, price is still stuck in a range. Okay, so now we have a big bullish candle close here with the US dollar being strong. So looking for a continuation of that. And then our first target here is 1.2140. Now, again, that's a major resistance level. And this is where price has struggled. Again, big push up and then it reversed, push up, reverse. So now we have another bullish move here. And concern will be this, right? And because we are still in this support, in this range. So this is where we have to be careful. So bias is bullish here, bullish to neutral. And next target is 1.2140. If it goes through this, then we will look at 1.22 as the second target. So bias is bullish here. Silver here, silver struggled right into that resistance that we talked about yesterday. Couldn't go through it, big drop here. Now we are right into support here. It's looking bearish. So in this case, looking for a pullback and then a further drop here. Now keep in mind with the non-farm payroll numbers that can change this. However, bias is bearish here. So in terms of pullback, we may get a shallow pullback into 2750, or we could get a bit of a deeper pullback into 2765. But first target is the base of today's candle. And then next target here is 2670. So bearish bias for silver. Gold here, gold also struggled with the resistance. It has reacted at this level several times. And as we can see, price dropped here. So bearish bias here. And next target here is 1857. So bearish bias for gold. Oil here, oil looks like this may turn. So today's candle is completely neutral. Price opened and closed at exactly the same time. Oil numbers were positive and yet it couldn't make much progress. So this looks like it could drop. Next target here is 67.20. So bias here is neutral to bearish. Copper here, copper, we were looking for a drop. It went all the way through and we are right into the support here. So be careful with this one, but bias is bearish. And next target here is 4.32. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin still sideways at the moment. We may see a move. It looks like it's trying to push through towards 41,000. But again, there isn't too much momentum. So neutral bias for Bitcoin, still target is 41,000 here. S&P 500. S&P 500 is still stuck in a range. So here bias is bearish. Now we do need to see a break here and then looking for a drop. So 41.45 and then 4100 will be the next target here for S&P 500. So bias here is bearish for S&P 500. NASDAQ here, this one broke through the support. It was also in a very narrow range. So looking for a further drop here and target in terms of our target here, we are looking at 13,385 and then below that 13,285. So bearish bias for NASDAQ. Dow Jones here, this one also, this one's neutral still. It's struggling. Now, if it holds below 34,685, basically where it's at, we need to see a drop here and then a continuation. So bearish bias 34,000 is the target here. And then DAX here, DAX does look slightly bullish, but it still hasn't been able to break through the resistance, which means it could turn around and come back down. So bias here is neutral to slightly bullish because it's still holding above this previous support resistance level, which makes it, gives it that bullish bias, but it's still trading in the range. So it's not completely bullish yet. Nikkei, FTSE here. And then FTSE here, FTSE still looking neutral. I'm looking for basically price to retest the low here. It's struggling with the support. So right now it's still stuck sideways here. So neutral bias here for FTSE. And then Nikkei, last one here. Nikkei struggling with the resistance level. It did go test the resistance and then it failed. So with this one, we may get a move back down. So neutral still, it's struggled with this 3 times now. And if it fails to go through 29,120, we are looking for a move back towards the support at 28,535. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day tomorrow and a wonderful weekend. And I'll be back again on Sunday with the weekly analysis. Bye for now.